So, now, I'll now share with you my analysis on Porco Rosso as an autobiographical novel. Enjoying a romance outside while the wife is in the home? Not adultery, just romance. The guy is not cheating, so we can cut him some slack. That's exactly what Hayao Miyazaki does in Studio Ghibli. Everyone in Ghibli knows, and Toshio Suzuki repeatedly talked about it in radio programs, his speaking gigs, and interviews. There is a documentary called The Kingdom of Dreams and Madness. This. Oh, it's shimmering. Here we go. A film, The Kingdom of Dreams and Madness, was released. In the film, you see a female staff member, Miyoshi. Other staff members call her Sankichi-san. The film depicts what it was like in the studio when they were making The Wind Rises. And this female staff member, Sankichi-san, was Hayao Miyazaki's personal favorite. I'll show you the table, the desk Miyazaki worked on. This was the desk, and you can see these characters in front of him. I'll show you the enlarged view. Here you go. These cute illustrated characters are cheering Miyazaki on for checking the key frame, and they are also counting down how many to go. They were drawn by this Sankichi-san, a very sweet lady with a young face. Anyone can see that she's Miyazaki's kind of girl. That's the type she is. She drew these pictures. In this documentary, The Kingdom of Dreams and Madness, Miyazaki and Sankichi-san are flirting like crazy. I'll give you an example. When Miyazaki finally finished drawing the storyboard, the first thing he did was go to her to tell the news, only to her. When Sankichi-san congratulates him, and then he, the Miyazaki, the king himself, waits for her to give her 5. Here, come on, he goes. But she doesn't know what the hell is going on. But soon she realizes and gives him 5, and they are in joy. You can actually see this scene in the film. Well, she is not the one special girl. Miyazaki always has his favorite girl, a female staff member, sometimes a writer for a magazine. I mean, his attitude is so obvious. Actually, he thinks he's hiding it well, and Toshio Suzuki just loves that. He says, Miyazaki is so cute, he thinks no one knows, with so much joy. Miyazaki's attitude toward his favorite girl is so much different from that toward the rest, so everyone knows. If you see it, you know the old man is into her. But this feeling, he platonically and strictly holds it back, and that's why Miyazaki thinks it's impossible for people to notice it. This documentary, The Kingdom of Dreams and Madness, was directed by a female director, Asami Tsunada. She saw them and realized what was going on between them. That's why she slipped in so many scenes and episodes involving Sankichi-san in the film. I mean a lot. How Miyazaki is in love, how he is relatively unaware of it, and how he thinks that no one knows. I won't say it's her cruel intention, but she meticulously captured such an attitude and edited those scenes to be recorded in her work. I mean, The Kingdom of Dreams and Madness really includes a lot of scenes with Sankichi-san. There are so many of them. The film even has a scene of her wedding ceremony. Actually, John Lasseter, an anime VIP, agreed to contribute to the film, and she shot his scenes. However, you see no scene where he has conversations with Miyazaki. John Lasseter's scenes were entirely cut. That's just impossible, and that just shows how much emphasis is on Sankichi-san. As I just mentioned, in this film, this documentary, oh, it's shimmering again. So, she is going to get married. And she worries that Miyazaki will be devastated to hear the news. That would affect his work, so she cannot tell him. So the staff members tried to decide who's going to tell him until Toshio Suzuki stood up saying, "I guess it's the job I have to do." What the hell is his job? What is he talking about? What the hell is this conversation in the first place? Anyway, Suzuki tells Miyazaki he wants to have a talk with him on the studio rooftop. I think I have told you this. This scene is in the film. The director Tsunada took this scene from afar, so you can't hear their conversation. You see Suzuki looking sideways and telling something to Miyazaki on the rooftop. Miyazaki is listening to him, kicking pebbles, and I think he is replying something like, "Got it." You can actually see this. It's in the film. Well, Miyazaki is not a child, and since he managed to keep things platonic, he recovers from the shock to even stand up and organize her wedding ceremony. You can see some photos of the ceremony on the web. Studio Ghibli has a blog, and they are in the diary page. The date is September 28th, 2011. Maybe you can check it out later. You see the groom and the bride in the ceremony, in the photos of their wedding. You remember the character Sankichi drew for Miyazaki? Those cute ones, cheering Miyazaki on for checking the key frames? Those characters. They're on... yes, in this picture. They were featured on their wedding cake. The bride and groom took a vow in front of Miyazaki, not in front of a priest, that actually happened in the ceremony. Incredible. It's just hardcore. I mean, this Miyazaki's rendition of romance, it's stoic and platonic, and I can't help feeling it's really cool. So Miyazaki is showing his attitude. What is cool? He is saying this is cool. So you can see him in the documentary commuting to Ghibli, bringing a packed lunch made by his wife every day. Commuting to Ghibli with the packed lunch made by his wife. And in the workplace, he has his small romance going on with some young lady. Just romance, not cheating, no problem. This is what is cool to him. He shows that, and I, as a middle-aged man, kind of get this. Just a regular middle-aged man married, gets an allowance from his wife. He uses the money for fun, maybe going to a bar for drinks after work. Maybe he flirts with a waitress or maybe a female manager there, but he never crosses the line. This is just such a typical episode of middle-aged men in the good old days. This kind of mentality of middle-aged men, those days, this weird blend of stoicism and lust, Miyazaki completely embraced it and turned it into a form of an autobiographical novel to confess that he is actually one of them. That's what fascinated me. I thought it was really cool. This rule